Welcome to Sacred Confessions. Grab a snack, take a seat, and relax. Here goes the confession. I practice witchcraft in secret. Here's what really happened. They say witchcraft is just fantasy, a joke, something from old stories. But I'm here to confess I practice witchcraft in secret, and it worked. Not in the Hollywood way with fireballs and broomsticks, no. It was subtle, dangerous, and very, very real. When I first lit that candle, I wasn't expecting anything. I thought it was harmless, just curiosity, you know. I had read about manifestation rituals online. All you needed was a candle, a piece of paper, and an intention, simple. So I sat in my room, closed the door, and whispered what I wanted. I wanted power, I wanted control, I wanted people to notice me. The flame flickered when I spoke. At first I laughed, maybe it was just the wind. But the window was closed, the air was still. That was the first sign. The second sign came a week later. A person who had been ignoring me suddenly couldn't stop talking to me. It was like they were drawn in. Coincidence? Maybe. But I had written their name on that piece of paper. That's when I started doing more. At night, I would lock myself in my room and gather things. Salts, candles, strings, herbs I didn't even know the names of. I copied symbols from books I found online. Traced pentagons on the floor. Whispered chants under my breath. It felt like a game at first, but every time something small happened. One ritual was for protection. The next day, a car accident happened right in front of me. 2 cars colliding, but my path was completely clear. I should have been in the middle of it. I wasn't. Another ritual was for money. The next week, someone paid me back money I had forgotten they even owed me. It felt like I had tapped into something ancient, something people weren't supposed to play with. But here's the part I never told anyone. The price. Every time I did a ritual, I felt more watched. At night, shadows seemed to move differently. My dreams were no longer just dreams. I would wake up at 3 a.m. every night, that cursed hour, with whispers in my ear. Sometimes I'd hear my own name, spoken by a voice I didn't recognize. The more I asked for, the heavier it felt, like invisible hands pressing on my chest when I slept. One night I tried something darker, a banishing spell. There was someone I hated, someone who had hurt me deeply. I wanted them gone. I wrote their name, burned it. I whispered words I didn't fully understand. 2 weeks later, they got sick. Something fatal, but enough to keep them away from me completely. I should have been satisfied, but I wasn't. I was terrified because I realized I had crossed the line. This wasn't a game anymore. This was real. The scariest part, once you open that door, it doesn't close. Even when I tried to stop, things still happened. The lights flickering, objects falling, my cat staring into corners of the room like it saw something I couldn't. And the people closest to me started noticing. My energy was different. I was angrier, more impatient, more drained. I wasn't me anymore. So I tried to undo it. I searched for cleansing rituals, ways to close the circle. I bensaged, I prayed, I even confessed out loud that I wanted no part of it anymore. But the whispers didn't stop. Even now, years later, when the room is too quiet, I hear them, soft voices, reminding me that once you taste power, you never truly walk away. So yes, this is my confession. Witchcraft is real and it works, but it's not free. There's always a price. If you're listening to this and you're curious, tempted to try it yourself, don't. Curiosity was my sin, and now I live with the echoes. Because once you make the first spell, the first whisper, the first flame flickering in your direction, you've already been noticed. And being noticed is the real curse. That's a confession from our beloved follower. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.